Okay, so we are ready to start the next part, which is our nitrogen, phosphorus, and potash, or potassium test. You can see I have left, or I've let the water or the soil settle. Remember, it was 1 part soil, 5 parts water. You mix it up and you let it settle. It took several days, but you can see the clay has settled out, so that's good to go. With these tests, the cloudiness doesn't affect the test, but it's easier to see. So I'm gonna fill these up. When you open them up, there's 2 chambers. You can see it on the back here. I'm gonna fill both of them up to this line, both sides, so that I have a good comparison. And if you have a cloudy water, remember, it's not gonna affect the test, but you definitely wanna have the kind of the control on this side, and then you're gonna put the water with the tablet in this side, okay? So I'm gonna go through that with you with my soil so that you can have some options, or you can answer the questions on the lab. Okay, so I'm gonna start with phosphorus, and I'm gonna unscrew this. You wanna see? Okay. All right, and again, remember, you're not gonna put the whole capsule in. You're gonna open it up, and it's nice if you do have another person there to hold the chamber. So hold it right here. You're a good assistant. Hold it, hold it. Mommy's gonna put something in there. And you kind of pull them apart, wiggle it apart. No, 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 sir. You are just holding this. And then you drop in the little powder. Make sure you got it all in there. Yeah, in there. And we're gonna put the top on. And you're gonna shake it. And it'll take a little bit for the color, so you gotta mix in the powder. You can see in the back. Do you wanna shake it? Okay, you shake it. Mommy's gonna get the next ones ready. Okay, so this, once you have them all shaken up, which we have them all shaken up, you can see the colors already starting to develop on some of them. But you're supposed to let it sit for 10 minutes. So I'm not gonna sit here for 10 minutes with you guys. I'm gonna go with this guy to find a stick to make some mud. But I will be back when they're done and we'll look at the results. Okay, for the other part of your lab where you're gonna use the soil triangle, our profile is not very good at all. And the reason that is, I mean, the measurement is fine. What you're gonna do is you're gonna look and see that you would take that 100% of your soil profile goes up to probably, I know it's not even, but probably 54 centimeters. And that's the whole profile. Obviously, I could let it sit a little bit more. There's some clay particles still floating down, but it's already been a week that I've waited for this, and I need to make this content, I'm not gonna lie. And so what you can see, what's really cool about this is that, or if my soil was more diverse, what you could see is you could see the sand, the silt, and the clay particles. Now the thing is, it doesn't look like I have any sand particles. They're very fine all the way up. They're silt size, and I know they're not clay because clay is a whole different color. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna say probably about 51 centimeters of your whole column is silt. And then 2 centimeters is clay particles. So from that, you can figure out what type of soil you have by using the soil chart and using the percentage of how much silt do I have, how much clay do I have. And for your own yards, you would use how much sand I have. Okay, so it's been about 10 minutes. So we're gonna look, I'm gonna hold it up against this so you have like a white-ish background. I know it's not perfectly white, but you know. And you should be able to compare this side to these colors and come up with a good indicator of, is it depleted, is it deficient, is it adequate, is it sufficient, is it surplus. Yeah, so go ahead, you can pause it, you can really analyze it, and then write down your answer for that. All right, next up is our nitrogen, and you're gonna take a look. Again, you're comparing this column that we put the activator in to this side, which would tell you, is it depleted, deficient, adequate, sufficient, or surplus. All right, and again, you're going to look at this, compare it to this side, and is it depleted, deficient, adequate, sufficient, or surplus, looking at and comparing the color here to this right here. Again, you can pause it, you can do whatever you need to do in order to see the difference between these two. Okay, I had to do that one more time because the particles I read might settle or rise to the top, and you need to shake them in when you're comparing. You can see from the back, they really settle up to the top there. So that makes a huge difference with my results. Because I thought I was depleted, and hint, hint, I might not be as depleted as I initially thought. So go ahead, take another look at it and figure out, where is my soil? Do I need to add potassium to it? One more good shake. Okay, so what you see here is a nice little chart that comes with your instructions for the soil test. And if you have too acidic of soil, you can use dolomitic or calcic limestone, or hydrated lime, which is just crushed up limestone, to make it a little more basic, to even it out. If you need to make your soil more acidic, if it's too basic, you can add iron sulfate or aluminum sulfate. So those are just some things. If you looked at my test or my soil, and there might be a question that asks you, hey, what can I do, or what can Miss Middleton do to fix her soil? Okay, so some other things, suggestions that this has. It has things that you're supposed to do before planting. Obviously, I've already planted, so these are some things that I would need to look into for maybe next growing season, or if I'm planning on having fall plants and I need to fix my soil before planting new plants. So for nitrogen, it can tell you if you need more nitrogen in your soil, you can add dry blood or nitrate of soda. And I'm pretty sure you need to buy both of these. Don't just go and start like bleeding something and dry its blood. That's weird and could get the cops called on you, because that's, again, super weird. But you it tells you how many units to put on your soil depending on how depleted it is. Phosphate, if you need more phosphate, you need bone meal or triple super phosphate. It tells you how many units to put on that. And then if you're missing potassium or potash, muriate of potash, that'll help out there. All right, so those are just some things you can do if you need to correct your soil. You also, if you already planted like I did, you can buy bags of soil that have a certain mix of nitrogen, potassium, and potash. And so you just would look at these concentrations. If you're working on your lawn or you have fruit that you're trying to grow and your soil is depleted of nutrients, you would need to look into a type of soil that you could add that has these already added in. So you can actually buy soil that has certain concentrations of nitrogen, phosphorus, and potash depending on your soil.